This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, along with our co-host, Shelley Brown, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. Shelley and I are also very proud to be part of the Real Estate Radio Network. That is a national network of local real estate professionals delivering timely, balanced truths about local market conditions. And with us in studio with Shelley and I, we have Forrest Barbee. He's our broker at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. He also serves as a broker in California and Arizona. Arizona. Welcome, Forrest.
Well, thank you very much.
So glad to have you back. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk to you today about is how agents interact with one another. And I think that what we've seen is the climate has somewhat changed in the way agents interact with each other. It used to be we did a lot of face-to-face interaction. Now most of it's through emails and such, and so things have changed.
Well, very much so. And I think also, you know, we went through this era for a number of years here of having all these distressed sales.
Right.
And so that was a faceless environment. I mean, only the banks were concerned. You had very little interaction, very little negotiating. Pretty much the listing agent had to almost take control of the transaction.
Right.
But now we're back to a very normal market, and it's time for those agents to let go and realize that this is more of a negotiation.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they need to be considerate of each other. You know, a transaction brings out, it heightens the emotions of everybody in it,
of course.
Buyers and sellers. So the one person that must remain objective at all times is that agent.
Right.
And then those two agents need to work together as a team, as a partnership. They're not or should not be adversaries.
And that's really, I think, a source of a lot of the issues out there.
Yes.
Is that the agents take charge in a way they're not supposed to take charge. They take charge in a way of making decisions that they shouldn't be making.
And often the initial purchase agreement lacks clarity.
Right.
They think it does, but even if it's in a boilerplate, if a seller isn't taking something, then the listing agent should counter that out explicitly.
Right.
If the buyers want something, the buyer's agent should specifically, explicitly ask for it in the purchase agreement. So there's crystal clarity later. Then we focus on the blame game. It's like, I can't wait to throw the other agent under the bus in front of my client.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very good. First of all, the blame game isn't going to solve the problem.
Right.
And we've got to get back to solving problems and removing that personality issue out of it. If you can deal with that later.
Yeah.
But what are the real issues and how do we solve them right now? And for the buyers and sellers, they need to realize that the vast majority of agents work on a team. Therefore, if they have issues, they should also ask who the team leader is and may we speak to them.
Yeah.
Or the branch manager or even the broker. Because sometimes, you know, we can bring the parties together in-house and resolve things.
And because there is another level what happens. So if two agents aren't getting along or there's an issue between agents, very often the best solution is to bring it to your team leader, your office manager, or your broker, and then they can step in and hopefully cooler heads prevail.
Right, and if necessary, then if the team leader can coordinate with the agent on the other side or their broker.
Right.
You know, worst case, you know, we've even brought everybody in, including clients, and sat down and facilitated really a mediation.
Right.
To get everybody back on the same page.
It gets frustrating for the clients, most frustrating for the clients, because you're really not serving them when you're behaving this way.
Well, that's right, and I do a lot of mediations at the board with the public and with agents, but it is amazing how many of those particular cases that come to mediation were caused by the agents.
Yeah.
And by not being on the same page or not communicating. And it is an eye-opener then sometimes for that, you know, client to realize, woo, that's not what I thought was going on in the transaction.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with hosts Harvey Blankfeld and Shelley Brown. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.